The camera does not know it is alone. It does not know the road has gone quiet, or that the person who placed it there may be miles away by the time the first branch moves. It does not get nervous. It does not look behind itself. It just records what crosses the frame, and sometimes that is what makes the footage feel worse. This first clip comes from a trail camera near Squaw Peak Road. At the beginning, there is almost nothing to read: a patch of brush, tall trees, a small open space that looks ordinary enough to ignore. Then the animal enters. Let the first pass stay wide. The point is not to force the viewer's eye with graphics. The point is to let the shape become obvious on its own. At first, it is just movement in a green frame. Then it separates from the brush. Then the pace of it becomes clear. Watch the movement before anything else. It does not rush the camera. It does not perform for it. It comes through the brush in the slow, heavy way that makes the frame feel smaller with every step. For a few seconds, the camera has exactly the kind of view these cameras are built for. No person reacting. No flashlight. No one whispering from behind the lens. Just the animal, the trees, and the fixed angle. That is why this clip works as an opening. Nothing needs to be added to it. The unease comes from how calm the recording is. Here's the same moment again, tighter and slower. Notice where the body is in the frame before it turns. The camera is low, the brush is high, and the animal is close enough that the whole scene stops feeling like a landscape. It becomes a place something just passed through. Then it leaves, and the frame goes back to being quiet. That is the pattern for this episode. Not legends. Not certainty where the footage does not give it. Just cameras placed near roads, homes, camps, and trees, recording moments that feel different after dark. The next clip changes the setting from a trail camera to a parked vehicle. The upload identifies the location as Bayfield, Wisconsin. In the first seconds, the important part is already happening. Bears are around the vehicle, close enough that the distance between wildlife and human space has basically disappeared. What makes this clip tense is not speed. It is access. A car is supposed to be a boundary. You close the door, lock it, and the outside stays outside. That idea is so normal we barely think about it. A parked car in a driveway or near a cabin or beside a road usually reads as human territory. It has handles, windows, mirrors, a cabin inside it. It is built around the assumption that people enter and everything else stays out. But here, the animal is right at that boundary. Do not look for a dramatic ending. Look at how ordinary the scene remains. The camera is steady. The vehicle is still. The bears do not seem confused by the object in front of them. They inspect it like it belongs to the same world they do. And in a place like this, maybe it does. One more look at the closest interaction. This is not a story about someone being hurt, and it is not a claim about anything that happened after the clip ends. The clip is unsettling because it shows how thin the line can be between a safe parked car and the woods around it. From there, the next recording moves closer to home. This one comes from residential security cameras. At first, it has the shape of a normal night clip. Driveway, road, hard shadows, the washed-out look of cameras that are built to watch while everyone else sleeps. Then the bears move through. Security camera footage has a strange effect. During the day, the same place might feel completely familiar. A driveway is a driveway. A road is a road. But at night, when a camera catches something crossing through the edge of the property, the familiar space changes. It starts to feel borrowed. The strongest part of this recording is the later angle, where multiple bears are visible at once. Keep the frame wide. The houses and road matter only as context. The story is not who lives there or exactly where it happened. The story is that the camera saw a quiet residential space become part of a night route. And that is the uncomfortable part. For the animals, this may not be a strange place at all. For the people inside, it is the space right outside the door. That contrast is what makes security camera footage so useful for this channel. It removes the storyteller. There is no one trying to make the moment more dramatic while it happens. The camera simply watches the same space it watches every night. Only this time, the night brings something through the frame. Now the road comes back into the episode. In this short news uploaded clip, a van is moving down a forest road when a mother bear suddenly comes toward it. The moment is fast, which is why it is easy to miss the first time. Watch the distance close. A vehicle usually gives the viewer a sense of control. The camera is moving. The driver has direction. There is a road, and roads imply a way out. But the clip works because that confidence gets interrupted. The animal appears in the road environment, and for a few seconds, the road is no longer simply a path through the forest. It becomes part of the encounter. It is also a reminder that road footage can feel more immediate than trail footage. The camera is not waiting in one place anymore. It is carrying the viewer forward. That means the moment arrives in real time, with almost no room to prepare for it. Here is the key moment again. There is no need to stretch this into more than it shows. The clip shows a charge toward the van on a forest road. It does not need added panic. The suddenness is enough. The next is shorter, but it has one of the strongest camera contact moments in the lineup. The uploader describes it as a bear during a night raid on a campsite. What the footage clearly shows is a bear coming very close to the camera, close enough that the image is overwhelmed. The first seconds are the whole segment. There is a shape, then movement, then contact with the lens area. The camera does what these cameras always do. It keeps recording even when the frame stops being useful. That is the part I like about this clip. The moment does not become louder after contact. It becomes less readable, and sometimes that is more effective. When the lens is blocked, the viewer loses the thing every found footage video depends on, a clear view. You are left with the knowledge that something is close, and the camera can no longer show it properly. Here's the second look. Again, this is not a story about a person being harmed. It is a short, physical camera moment. The animal approaches, the lens is overtaken, and the recording becomes a blur of proximity. That makes it a good late episode beat. By this point, the viewer has already seen animals on a trail, around a vehicle, near a home, and in front of a moving van. This clip takes the same theme and removes the distance. It is no longer about something crossing a frame. It is about the frame being reached. For the final segment, the episode shifts from what a camera sees to what a microphone hears. The clip is presented by its uploader as unexplained screaming coming from the woods. The honest version of that sentence matters. The recording does not identify the sound. It does not solve the source. It only gives the listener a dark tree line and a noise that does not fit comfortably into the scene. So listen before anything is explained. This kind of clip is easy to ruin with too much certainty. If you name the sound too quickly, the tension disappears. If you exaggerate it, the footage becomes less believable. The strongest version is the simplest one. Someone records the woods, a scream carries through the trees, and the camera has no answer. Let this section breathe more than the others. The visuals can stay restrained here because the event is in the audio. Do not cover it with constant talking. Let the sound play, let the viewer sit with it, and then come back with the narrowest, honest description. That is the last human feeling in the episode. Not danger, not discovery, just the decision to keep recording for a few more seconds. Then, for the closeout, we return to a trail camera. This final camera contact clip shows a bear approaching the lens and making contact with it. It is not strange because the animal is impossible to identify. It is strange because the camera is treated like part of the environment. The animal comes in close, the image fills, the frame loses its clean view, then the camera is left tilted, changed, still recording. It is a quiet ending, but it fits the episode better than a bigger claim would. The clip does not need to tell us that the forest is hiding an answer. It only shows that cameras sometimes survive a moment better than our sense of control does. That is where this episode ends. Not with an answer, but with a pattern. A trail camera in brush, bears around a parked car, security cameras watching a quiet road, a van meeting wildlife on a forest route, a dash cam stopping at an obstruction, a campsite camera losing its view, a sound moving through trees, different cameras, different roads, same uncomfortable idea. Most of the time, the dark is empty, but cameras do not record most of the time. They record the few seconds when something crosses the edge of ordinary life and leaves just enough behind for us to replay it. And after that, the frame goes quiet again.